Hello, I'm Adam with MakeHoneySticks.com, and today I'm going to show you how to get set up with your honey pot honey stick machine for the first time. So this is one that we already have set up that has the optional features of the air pressure gauge and the drain valve on the front. We're going to do setup on a standard version. So it's going to come in a box like this. Inside the box, you're going to have your H-straw holder. You're going to have a warming wrap for the container, and we'll talk about that more in a second. You have your air pump. You have the handle for taking off the lid, and we have our standard straw filling attachment. We have our filler with the lid on it and a thermometer on the front, and then you have your bag of straws. So let me get this box out of the way here. The sealer, this will be the sealer that comes with this one. Isn't new, but the sealer will ship separately most of the time if you order with a sealer. Sometimes they'll be in the same box, but I think I'm always going to ship those separately. But this will be the sealer that you get. So let's talk about this. First, with our lid, you can use this handle here. You can see that there's a wide and kind of narrow side to these cones along the edge. So that goes over the lid, only fits on one way. You can use that to take it off and back on if you need to. The lid here, there's this lid and kind of a skirt around it that pushes it down. So this is our filler. One, make sure that we don't move this side to side. That's going to come already where it needs to be. This side can come off, so you can clean this if you need to. This bulkhead fitting on the bottom is reverse threaded, so you can make sure that's tight. Make sure it doesn't go to the left anymore. Hand tight's fine. Don't over tighten that. Put this back on. Oh, upside down. There we go. And then this missing center will help guide you to the right position here. So first thing we can do, let's just turn the valve into the off position, and we can just screw on our filling attachment. This can go on hand tight. If you use a wrench, don't put it on more than one turn, but really hand tight on this is just fine. There we go. So that is on tight. Let's get our warming wrap set up. So it's going to come in a box like this. You can open that up. Inside the warming wrap, so there's going to be a few things that we want. First, that's empty. So all going to be in this bag. This thermometer, don't worry about it. We already got a thermometer in a better place, so that can go off to the side. We have our wrap, and inside here are, usually it's 2 rubber bands. Yep, there's our 2 rubber bands. You only need one. Going to take off this zip tie. And then this is going to wrap around our container. Now, what you want to do is, usually this is going to be best for maintaining the temperature of the honey that's already warm. If you use this to warm your honey, it's going to take several hours. You'd want to leave this wrapped around for 6 hours and come back to it. So if you use this to warm up your honey, just be very patient. Otherwise, just warm up the honey and then use this to maintain the temperature as you go. The outside of this will get to 100 degrees, so it's not going to overheat your honey, but it's also going to be pretty slow. I'm going to go through and get this plugged in. watch it and see what I'm looking at. There we go. Okay. So I've got the warming wrap plugged in. I'm going to get this rubber band around the outside here. I'll put it just below the thermometer just so I'm not scuffing that up. And then if you raise this, then you can just put the rubber band down the rest of the way. And that will be plenty enough to hold the warming wrap into place. Next thing you're going to want is going to be your honey. The big things that are going to impact the speed of this machine is going to be the temperature of the honey when you start, the amount of honey that you put in, because if you put in more honey, it'll be like a heavier weight from gravity that's pushing down that allows it to speed up. So a little bit of honey will run slower than a lot of honey. And the size of the straw. Standard, this is going to be a standard size. There's a separate filling adapter that makes a larger size straw. That's totally optional, but these straws will fill faster than those straws. We've got our honey here. This is straight out of the warmer because we want to get this running as fast as we can. So just to illustrate, this honey is 104 degrees. So we're going to pour this in. We got a nice wide spout on the top here. So I put in, this is 5 pounds of honey. So this is actually going to go really fast since we poured in that much honey. You can put in 2 pounds, whatever you want to put on. So to get this moving, we're going to put on this top piece. We're going to put on the skirt. We're going to tighten this down. Hold the reservoir when you tighten it, just so you're not spinning this into the side of the plastic. And then our pump pushes on and then twists into place. So now we've got all this set up, and all we have to do is pump it to pressurize it. On this one, this is where it helps to have this gauge here. I know that so right now we have about 4 pounds of honey in here. If you have 2 pounds of honey, 10 pumps would make 5 psi every pump. I'm actually going to take this off really quick, and just for illustration purposes, you won't have this, but just to illustrate the pressure, I've got this air pressure gauge I'm going to screw on here just to watch and see what this does with 4 pounds, because I haven't tested it with this amount. So I've got the air pressure gauge on, nice. I've got my valve open, and we're going to pump this up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So 35 pumps brought us to 15 psi. So we're kind of like 2.5 pumps. We're going to add, I guess, a few pumps more. Now it should be close to 20 psi. Now the important thing here is once you've pressurized it, actually remove this lid, and that's going to maintain your pressure. I'm going to turn my valve off so that I can take off this air pressure gauge and put on my attachment. But this shows just how quickly you can just swap your attachment out, and if you're making 2 different size straws, like, you can easily do that in a single batch. Just swapping that out. As the Teflon tape becomes worn, you'll want to replace that, but it tends to be good for 5 to 10 batches. So we've got this pressurized. Now I do need to plug in my sealer actually. So we've got our reservoir pressurized. We have our sealer set up with these. We want to put our sealer up all the way to start, and then if you have pre-sealed straws, you can start filling them right away, or if you have the straws that aren't pre-sealed, then you also need to load those into the holder first. And we're just going to be sealing one side. Since I'm sealing these straws empty, usually that requires less temperature, so I'm going to turn my temperature down to 7. I'm kind of experimenting on that. Usually I use pre-sealed straws. This is just a demo once. So after the light clicks off, I'm going to hold it down for an additional 6 seconds, or if you're talking and not counting, then just whatever feels right. And then we'll take this off. Looks like we have a good seal on these. I'm going to turn my temperature up the rest of the way. And now what we're going to do is first, just for a second, turn your valve on. That's so if there's any air built out here, it clears that air. You kind of heard that air clear. So now we're going to put on our straw, and we're going to open up our valve. It needs to fill up the system, and now it is filling up our straw. We will take that, load it back into our holder. This first one, just because it's airing up the system, there are some air bubbles here. These will rise to the top if you just store them vertically, but our next couple straws aren't going to have any sort of air bubbles once it just clears the line. This will work with any jumbo size straw will work with this standard attachment. A jumbo size straw is going to be about 6 millimeters in diameter, but there's some flexibility there. And then, what else was I going to say? Something. As this fills, if you kind of spin it just to help it glide up, that tends to be the most efficient. Also, if you accidentally overfill it, so this one we're going to overfill, we want to leave like see how we have some space left on these, so there's room to seal it. This one, there's not enough space, so I'm going to actually pinch a little bit of this honey back onto here, and then when I put my next straw on, I'm going to spin this straw as I put it on, and I'll put the stop the honey from dripping, and then we just fill it up again as normal. Now that we have these all lined up, we will get our temperature up all the way, and we're going to press that down. I watch the light on my finger turn on, light on my pinky, so I know when the light turns off. We're going to keep holding it down. And we've got these sealed. You can give them a pinch. You can see how it kind of fights that air bubble there. That's going to be how you know you got a good seal on these straws. So you give them a pinch, and the pressure kind of builds up on them. So we've got good seals. These are 8 straws ready to go. And then the pre-sealed straws will work the same way. We will, spin those, push it, turn the valve, spin it, and it fills up our straw. If you're going to make different size straws, then I recommend starting out with the smaller straws, because once you start to run out of honey, and the honey cools, it doesn't run as fast. So if you do your smaller straws first, the larger straws will naturally fill faster, so that difference becomes much less consequential. Gonna just do these 8 here. With the pre-sealed straws, you should be able to do about 120 straws an hour once you get used to it. I would say max capacity is 150 straws. Even with the unsealed straws, you should be able to get up to 100 straws an hour when you get good at it. And these will seal the same way. We will push this down, hold it down for additional 6 seconds after that light clicks off. There we go. And we can give these a pinch. You can see that we have that resistance is fighting, so those are all good seals. Once you're done, you can, to depressurize it, let me try to scoop that up from dripping. To depressurize the unit once you're done making straws, if you just push this back on, then if you pull this lever here on the top, that will depressurize your unit, and then you can just twist the pump back off and then use your handle to unscrew it. It typically gets a little bit tough to unscrew, which is why this wrench is very helpful. And then you can just pour this back into a bucket, back into your heater, whatever your most bulk honey storage is. So let's let that drip. That's where you want to turn this valve on when you drip it, so everything can clear out, and you can also take this off. I'm going to take off right now because I don't have a place to put it to stop from dripping, but you can drain all the honey out from there. This one here, you have the ability to actually take off the plug on the front. This one's actually half tightened with a wrench, so I need a wrench to get that off all the way. So that helps reduce waste and just allowing it to go upside down. But that's how you make straws, and you can clean it once you drain all the honey. You can clean it, put warm soapy water, and actually use your pump to pressurize it and get that moving. You can see our thermometer here. There's 3 temperatures usually highlighted. Right now this would be the current temperature, 86, and that's ultimately telling us the outside of the plastic is 86. If we check that, it's pretty accurate. This won't get any higher than that, but it's just nice to keep an eye on things. That's how you make honey sticks with the Honey Pot honey stick machine. It is, I think, the best value honey stick machine on the market ever. If you want one, check it out at should have it listed on Etsy, also makehoney6.com. Maybe eventually I'll get it on Amazon. That's what I got. I'm rambling at this point. Thank you for watching, and happy beekeeping.